Yo, Survivor fans, this is Chad. I'm here to recap your episode 5 review, which was very insane. Very hard to watch. Most offending episode I ever watched, and that's just coming after Colton, and it was that bad. And of course, most of the offense comes from a Hans. Go figure. I'm no fan of the Hanses whatsoever, and I did have a little tiny respect for little Brandon Hans, not anymore. It was pretty bad. But before I get into all that, there's other things going on in the episode. Recap as usual. Not a full intro. Typical beginning BS for Survivor. They should just do a full intro. They go back to Goda. Sherry's all upset. They vote out Laura. She's saying it's like her daughter. Reynolds was talking about his idol. He's saying it was flushed and something about his trimates were worthless, which I don't agree with him on. And then we go back to Beichel. Brandon's talking crazy. He's saying he's going to quit because of his family and his kids. And then he goes back and says, I'm going to fight for my kids. And that's not even the beginning of it. He's a whack job. And I'll get into that. They go to the reward challenge. The one thing I noticed was, or my female friend noticed, that she was watching the episode with me. She said, instead of just holding on to it, why didn't they wrap it around their hands or even their knees? Because Jeff Probst said nothing about not allowing that. So she was like, why didn't they just wrap it around their hands or their knees? Now, that's a good point, unless it could easily break the hand, but your knee and your legs strong. So she brought up a good point, and I was thinking that too. So that's what I would have done instead of just trying to hold on to it. Eventually, the faves win again. They win steak, veggies, sausages, basically a grill out thing. And then we go back to the fans tribe. Everybody's scrambling for the idol, and who finds it? Again, mere hours later, it's Reynolds. So, damn, he finds the idol again. But he hold on, my TV's going off. Like I was saying before, Reynolds finds the idol again. He tells his boy Eddie. So, Reynolds, the ultimate idol seeker guy, is what I'm going to call him. So, I'm going to get into this next segment. It's going to be pretty ugly. Be forewarned. I'm not going to be kind. I'm not going to be nice. So be forewarned. This Irish Chad temper is about to come out. It's not going to be pretty. Oh, wait a minute. No. Before I get into that. They go back to Beichel. Brandon and Philip fight a little bit more, and then they cut back to Goda. They show the rain. The rain must have been horrendous. You see Matt's feet looked all gnarled up, and everybody's just miserable. Okay. Now we go back to this segment. Not going to be nice, like I said. We go back to Beichel. Brandon basically loses his mind. Starts dumping the rice, the beans, being basically an asshole. Just dumps the rice and beans and goes off on Philip, calling him, yeah, vote me up now, bitch. And first of all, CBS should have edited out the cuss words. Because keep in mind, Survivor is supposed to be a family show, right? They did not cuss out, they did not bleep out the cuss words or because you got little kids watching. Imagine little kids with their families. They're going to be terrified to watch Survivor now after seeing this shit. Brandon goes off, dumps the rice and beans, which is not fair to everybody. Not fair at all. Makes Andrea and Dawn cry, which I hated. The guy's just a jackass. I'm sorry. Anyways. Yeah, so he does that, if you have a problem with somebody on Survivor, why not play Survivor and try to get them voted out instead of dumping the rice and beans and making it miserable in hell for everybody else. Why don't it just be like a normal person and play the game and try to do it the right way, instead of being an asshole and an ass clown and jerk and a little wuss and just, basically making a fool out of yourself, making you look insane in front of millions of people watching on TV. More like a moron, basically. So, yeah, that happened. So basically after all that hoopla, they go into immunity challenge, if you can call it an immunity challenge. It turned into tribal council because the favorites, they basically forfeited the challenge and they voted Brandon off. But the few key things was the fans finally got immunity, even though it was an unorthodox way. And when did Jeff Probst become a masseuse or a psychiatrist? I don't know. But anyways, from what I hear, Brandon felt that psych exam, he should have been on the show in the first place. So whoever decided to, hey, let's put Brandon on, we think we know who. Bad call. But basically, Brandon got voted out. So he's gone, thank God. I mean, after all that bullshit I saw, I just, it was hard for me watching. I'm a hardcore fan, and I'm on many Facebook groups, and it pissed off a lot of Survivor fans, and even one lady said, it would have been hard for my kids to watch. So, before recasting or casting lunatics, you gotta think of the long term instead of just putting on these lunatics and exploiting their mental illness or whatever disease they have for ratings. You gotta think of the long term. So, and as a fan, I was pissed because I'm like, why would they put lunatics like this on the show when you got millions of hardworking people that love the show and try time and time again to be on the show when you basically put these lunatics on? But, enough ranting about that. Positive note, I am doing something kind of do with Survivor on June 1st. There's a girl I used to work with that is throwing a walk for diabetes June 1st at Kings Island in Cincinnati. I decided to be involved with it. What this has to do with Survivor is that she is getting survivors involved and Survivor, which is really cool, and I'm a part of it now. And I only met one survivor so far, and that's Matt. Matt's also involved, which is cool. So if you can donate, do, and it's for a great cause. And if you want to donate, let me know, and I'll send you the appropriate information. But hopefully, June 1st will be a great day for me, and a great day for all these people doing this great cause. So it is for a great cause. It's for type 1 diabetes. And so I encourage you to donate if you can. But that's all that I have. So next week, it looks like Corinne's the next target. So hopefully, from here on out, we don't have any more rice dumping or beans. Speaking of which, I hope they replenish the beans and rice for them, because what happened there was totally not their fault. So, on a last note, I want to say to the Fays, I'm sorry you had to go through that. It was very hard to watch. So, this ranks as the lowest moment of Survivor, even lower than Colton, and that's pretty bad. So, but I'll see you next week, and think positive thoughts. Happy early St. Patrick's Day. Lucky the Irish, I'll be drinking a few pints of green beer, so happy St. Pat's to all those people out there watching this, and to all my friends and whatnot. But peace, love, chicken grease. Love you guys. Bye.